Hey there, I'm Trey Starna with HISD Now, and today we're sharing some good news about student achievement in Houston ISD. So new results are showing that students are continuing to make significant gains on the STAAR and end-of-course exams, making it a third consecutive year of academic growth across the district. And joining me now to help break down those results and what they mean for students, families, and schools is Superintendent Mike Miles. First off, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, happy to be here as always.
Yeah. So you know what? Let's get straight to this. I know I was talking to you earlier and saying that every time we it's kind of crazy that we're already at the time of year where we're breaking down the end of year results.
Another year has passed, and you said it. It's the third consecutive year of great results.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the Super Bowl. The first year it's good that you win, and then if you repeat that, that's great. But having a three-peat, that's really hard to do.
Yeah, let's get to what are those numbers showing now.
So so first I got to say these are preliminary results still. Now the end of course, which are high school exams, I'm going to show you some results here. We have the state averages and we have the state data, so that's pretty firm.
Okay.
The elementary and middle are preliminary. They are state data,
gotcha.
But we don't have state averages for that, so I've just got to put a footnote on that.
Got it. So this is a very early look at those numbers
Early
right now.
look. The end of course exams, I think you could pretty much bank on. Let me just show a few slides. I know people don't want us to just go over numbers, but for the high school exams, let me just make a few points here. This is Algebra 1. So you can see that the important point here is the blue is HISD, the yellow is the state average. And so in 2023, look how far behind we were when the intervention started, and now we're well above the state average at 58 percentage points proficiency. So the growth has been just tremendous in Algebra 1, 14 percentage points in 3 years. That's how we've done, as our students have done over the last 3 years.
Yeah.
English 1, same thing. You see how far behind we are. This is the only one we're behind in at the high school level still, and we're just a couple points off where we used to be much further behind. English 2, look at that growth. 44% proficiency when we started 3 years ago. Now we're at 58. We're tied with the state. Biology, huge increase. I mean, that's crazy. The state also had a good year. They grew, but we grew even more. And so we're above them in biology. And then U.S. history, also we started behind, now we're ahead of them. So these are the end of course high school exams. And when we started the intervention, we were behind the state average in all 5 of these, actually all 20 exams.
Oh, wow.
And now in high school, we're above the state in 4 of the 5 exams. And we're very close in the 5th.
Wow.
So a huge testament to our students, of course, and their teachers who are actually doing the work. Real quickly on elementary, I told you they're preliminary, and I don't want to show too many more numbers. Let me hit the high points for you. So achievement scores went up in 11 of the 13 exams. There are 2 more exams, science, that are not graded yet, and we'll get those results next month. But right now, out of the 13 exams, we went up in 11. We actually went up in 12 if you count our accelerated math, but that's complicated to explain. But that's already a huge improvement. And then our average growth in 3 years for K-8 STAAR exams, it's 10 percentage points on average. So that's huge. Just to give you some context, if a district moves up 2 or 3 points in a year, that's good. And if you do it on all your exams or almost all your exams, that's even better. We've done that every year for 3 years.
Wow.
Almost all the exams, at least 3 points.
For families watching this and seeing those numbers, and you said that, we can break down a lot of these numbers, and we'll continue to break these down. What does this really mean for their student when they see these numbers? What does it mean for the kind of opportunities that this is going to open up here at HISD?
Yeah, let me put these numbers in some context. It's not just about the number. It's about the students and the students' abilities and competencies behind the numbers. Look, English and math are critical skills even in the future. And you know, we spend a lot of time talking about what kids need 5 years from now, what they need 10 years from now. And so when you think about the Good Reason Houston report that said, hey, if you want a living wage, so 6 years after you graduate, if you can't read at grade level when you graduate or do math at grade level, the odds of you having a livable wage or higher than a livable wage are low. And so we want to move that. It's not just passing a reading test, it's what you can do with that in the workplace, in life, for opportunities. And so when I see all these kids, look at our eighth, you don't have eighth grade reading on this slide here, but eighth grade reading has improved, I think, 12 points in just 3 years, 12 percentage points.
Wow.
How many more kids is that, right? You take, it's thousands more students being able to read at grade level in eighth grade. When you look at Algebra 1, 58% versus 34% when we started, how many more kids can do math at grade level? And so we are providing real opportunities for kids. And that's just a starting point. We have to do other competencies we can talk about, but I see kids lined up when I see these scores. I see their opportunities. And when you go to the schools and you ask the kids how you did, and when they get these results and they got them before they left school, the preliminary results, I mean, they're celebrating because they know how important it is. Their parents are celebrating. They know how important it is, especially reading, math, and science. You know, being able to do that, that's life-changing for kids. So yes, they're only numbers, but they're way more than that when you think about the impact on a student's opportunities in the future.
As superintendent and someone who's walked the halls with you to observe a lot of these changes and whatnot, what does this tell you about what's going on in our classrooms with our principals, with our teachers, and with our students? What does that tell you as superintendent?
Look, first thing to say is it's a hard job anywhere. It's even a harder job when you're trying to move a whole bunch of kids who may not be at grade level and teaching them at grade level and using all the strategies and the expertise of our teachers, not just the science of teaching, but the art of teaching. That's what it takes. And so our teaching staff have stepped up. The principals, of course, guiding them, coaching them. It's been great to see. But the other thing is you can see that people are working with a sense of urgency. They know that our kids need this. And they know that we have to do things different than we did in the past. Yeah. That it really takes all the things that we've been talking about, scaffolding, differentiated instruction, a real focus on instruction. That's hard to do. And it also takes raising expectations. And it turns out when you raise expectations for both staff and kids, the teachers rise to the level of expectation, and so do the students. One thing real quick, math, for example. Mm-hmm. I told you 7th grade math, we accelerated math, meaning 42% of the students this year, 7th graders, took the 8th grade math STAAR.
Oh, wow.
Almost half took the 8th grade exam. And we're trying to get them to take algebra, and 1,400 more kids in 8th grade took the algebra exam. So next year you're going to see even more 8th graders take algebra and even more 7th graders take the 8th grade math exam. And guess what? Those students are succeeding. Yeah. Those students are meeting expectations. And so again, raise expectations and they're going to rise to the level of expectation.
Wonderful. Last question here. 3rd year, consecutive year of academic growth. It's always a question that I ask you when we have these conversations. What's next?
Yeah, so first of all, we're going to keep that trend going. You know, at the end of the first year, we did great, and I said, look, 1 year does not a trend make. Last year, it's like, okay, we're hopeful. We see a good trend, yeah. Right? But it's just 2 days. Now it's like 3 data points, 3 years. That trend is solid. We don't see any reason why that should go down. But it's work. It doesn't happen by magic. Like your last question, teachers are working hard, principals work. We got to keep that going. However, we have to double down on year 2035 competencies. critical thinking, information literacy, problem solving, working in teams, learning how to learn, learning how to collaborate, all those sorts of skills, we call them Year 2035 competencies. We need to continue to grow those and our students' ability to meet those competencies.
Wonderful, and we will continue to keep our families updated right here on HISD Now. But as always, Superintendent Miles, thank you for stopping by to share the good news, and we'll keep our families informed right here on HISD Now. But again, thank you.
Thanks.
And thank you for watching HISD Now.